Hi, I'm Dan from Ozgel,
And I'm Nathan McDonald from Dye Precision.
and today we're going to be having a chat with Macca, who is an Australian pro paintball player, about speedball. All right, thanks for joining us, Macca. You're a massive advocate of both gel ball and paintball in Australia. You've always been there trying to connect the two communities, which is greatly appreciated by us all.
Cheers.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you've come from, mate.
Look, I come from a paintball background. Started in 2005, 2006, playing with some mates out at Sanford Skirmish. I got hooked. I got told that they had a league that you could get yourself involved into, so I went and started playing Scenario for a couple of years. Really enjoyed it, and then the tournament side kind of grabbed its hook and dragged me in, and I've been playing that ever since.
And how about your kids when they're at school? When they're describing what you're doing in paintball to your friends, it must sound pretty terrifying to teachers with what they might say.
No, not too many dramas. Normally early in the year, we let the teachers know just what's going on, so that they would have a bit of a heads up and say, hey, look, I play paintball, so if my kids are talking about guns, then they're not talking about a mass murderer or or a psycho. So
when they're talking about like daddy go around and shooting other people, it's not for real.
Yeah, it's all a bit of muck around. So and teachers ask a couple of questions, so it's good to get a bit of knowledge out there.
Oh, good stuff. All right, and speaking of knowledge and getting that out there, I understand it's been a little bit controversial for you because you are such a large figure in the paintball community in Australia, and I know you've copped a lot of heat for coming out to gel ball games. We know that a lot of the paintballers have been giving a lot of lip service to you because gel balls for pussies. But what I like about you, man, is you see through that. You're not a simple dude. You're someone who's happy to try all sorts of stuff and see if you like it first. How have you found all that? Like, how are you going with managing that relationship?
Yeah, definitely copping some flack. But it's good flack. Like, they give it to me like, oh, yeah, what are you doing that for? I'm like, really? I'm going out there to shoot someone. It's the exact same as playing paintball, just it's not as hard. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. I can play with my kid who's old enough to play. He can't play paintball until he's 15, right? But he can come out and play this with me. So it gets me to have a bit of a bonding session with Bo. I get out to still hang out with mates. I get to shoot people. I don't really see the difference in it, to be honest. Like, the principles are all the same.
I mean, you've been out to a few gel ball games now, haven't you? So do you find that it's a viable alternative? Like, I mean, is it something you've enjoyed?
Oh, hell yeah. I enjoyed a lot. Like, I see it as a bit of a stepping stone for the younger age to get involved in it, and then they can progress, obviously, into the paintball if they want to go down that sort of path. But also, look, it really is good for anyone to play. Both sports have their pros and their cons. I just find it both. You can play both of them without any sort of interest. Not interest as in like repercussions.
Man, I wish everyone had an attitude like that. I mean, it'd make playing at fields so much nicer, along with all the trolls on social.
Yeah, you just got to get over those guys. And normally the guys who are doing most of the trolling are nobodies. Like, they're just trying to puff up their chests and get some smoke out there. But it's
wear big shoes.
Yeah, if you want like playing it, go play it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Now, because of your good attitude towards both sports, I guess it's resulted in things like a full sponsorship with Dye. That's from the paintball side. How did that come about? Where did it all start?
I got that in 2011. I was fortunate enough to be picked up by one of the top teams in Australia at the time. Hostile Intention was a fully sponsored Dye Precision team, head-to-toe kit out. And as I said, luckily I got picked up by them halfway through the season. And then I've been with Dye ever since. They just, every time, like Hostile ended up retiring in 2012, but Dye and myself kept the relationship, and basically wherever I've gone, they've gone. And through doing this sort of work, just promoting, talking, helping, they like what they see, they like what they get, so we've been able to keep together forever.
That's good. All right. Good stuff, mate. Now, regarding the Sloperators, so the Sloperators, that's the team that Ozgel sponsors. We've got a North and a South Side team. You've recently come on and provided a bit of assistance to the North Side team there. and competed just recently at an event in Wacol, a big speedball event that took place there.
Good weekend.
How did you find that? I mean, it looks like you've done wonders for the Slop Raiders as a whole, just improving their performance.
I wouldn't say I've done wonders. They had the potential. They've had the potential there. They just needed to know how to unlock it and use it correctly. And it's the same in paintball. Like, you've got to have guys who know how to teach you and how to get the best out of you. And that's all I've been doing with them, honestly. Like, they've got all the skills there themselves. They've just been shown a different way to do stuff, and they're coming along really well.
Well, that's appreciated by them and of course by me. And mate, the Eskimo Brothers. So that's your paintball team. That's the team you play with in paintball, is it?
Yep.
So Eskimo Brothers, one of the things I've noticed with them, and a big shout out to you guys. Thanks for
Jamie and Jonesy
bringing us along. But look, the Eskimo Brothers, they look like an absolutely massive team. I mean, every time I see their posts go out, I see huge numbers of players. How does that all work? I mean, the tournaments, you're still restricted to a small number of players. How's it all split up with that many people playing?
So the Eskimo Brothers are we've got 14 teams. We mainly play Super Sevens, which is the biggest comp in Australia for paintball, right, for the tournament side. We started off as, well, I actually didn't start it off. Nathan Jones and Jamie Angus, they started off. I've just jumped along and jumped on their coattails, right? But it was a team that if you didn't have a team, that's who you went and jumped on for. So if you wanted to play, okay, I want to play this weekend at the tournament, but I don't have a regular roster, they go, oh, come on, jump on. And we've just grown and grown and grown. A few big name players have come across, and which has brought many other players to come across, and they want to be part of the brand, and that's where we've gone.
A few big name players from Houston Heat, is that right?
Yeah, we've got a few big US players. Chad George for one of them, Ryan Moorhead. Who else have we had guested?
Chad George, he's the one that's known for being one of the best Snakeside players. Is that
correct?
That right?
Yeah, right. Awesome bloke.
Oh, that's cool. And for those at home who don't know, Houston Heat, they won the NXL World Cup. Was it a couple of years ago?
Last year? I'm pretty sure they did. They're regular top.
They're a top team. You know, they have hundreds of these paintball teams attending from across the world, and Houston Heat took that out. And these guys have had some of their players come over and compete over here, which is, it's something you must be pretty stoked about.
Chad is an awesome bloke. We feed off each other on and off the field, so it helps the chemistry on the field, which is great.
That's good. And now we get the joy of you coming over to Gel Ball and passing on some of that knowledge to the Slop Raiders. Very, very grateful for that. Now, what do you see as the future of Gel Ball?
Honestly, I'd like to see in the future, I'd like to see a few more competitions.
Yep.
Obviously, as the states start allowing gel ball to be played there, I'd like to see a little bit more interstate competition, national sort of a league, just like we do with paintball. Like it had the actual gel ball brand or sport, whichever way you want to push it, has the potential to grow. And I think if it's done correctly and it talks with paintball and people don't have that mentality, it's one v the other, where instead of it should be, they're basically the same. Yeah, both sports should flourish.
And that's the thing. I think that's the key. Rather than looking at gel ball as a threat, it should be looked at as you do, as a stepping stone or a cheaper alternative. Yep. You know, I mean, there's even been fields that I've turned up to, like paintball fields, to play paintball, and immediately, as soon as they identify that you're a gel baller, they're like, oh, you're one of them.
Yep.
You know, and then they start telling you how much they hate it, and you're like, well, okay, you've made me feel really uncomfortable. Yep. I'm never going to come back to your field again.
I don't want to spend my money here today, so thank you for turning me away.
Whereas I think if there's a little bit more openness to it, you know, instead of thinking about, you know, one's better than the other because of the pain factor, just open yourself up and see what it's like and cater to both.
Yeah, if I was to look at the two sports and marry them up side by side, right, what you pay for a gel blaster for a couple of $100, you can basically buy a very cheap setup, or if you're paying top of the range for your gel setup, you can still buy a good paintball setup, right?
Yeah.
The paint and the gels are obviously chalk and cheese, and price difference is a big factor on that. But the actual setups, unless you're playing top money for the tournament grade paintball gear versus the entry level sort of stuff, you're getting around the same sort of dollar value, bang for your buck.
Yeah.
So when everyone's carrying on about, oh, it's so much more expensive. Yep, the paint is generally what's the is the more expensive part of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's the sort of the killer for me when I've gone along to play paintball. I love playing paintball. Don't get me wrong, absolutely brilliant. I remember you gave me a bit of a try of a few of your markers and had a really good time. But I found I fell victim to, smashing through rounds really quickly.
Oh yeah, you can blow
in
through
an event, and then all of a sudden I'm like going, I'm going to have to drop another couple of $100 on ammo.
Yeah,
so,
you can definitely do that. I think the gel ball appeals to most guys, especially in Queensland at the moment over the paintball thing, is you can dolly your blaster up,
yep,
like a real one, in ways, right? So it's more that sort of realism, pretend army, if you want to put it that way, that they're looking for. They're looking for that Call of Duty sort of feel, look,
like that scenario feel from paintball sort of thing.
Yeah, they think they're in the that's what a lot of guys are looking for, and they get it in gel ball. You can't really get away with that in the paintball scene, but
hopefully in the future that changes. Well, what changes do you think are needed to better the gel blaster community as a whole?
I think the attitude needs to change a little bit, as in looking at it like the guys who are actually at the top making the decisions need to look at it as a sport rather than a little bit of, I'm going out with my mates to have fun this weekend. Yep, you can always have it as that, going out and doing that, but if you want to progress it and take it to that next level, you've got to treat it like it's a business or is a proper sport. If you're just going there for funsies, it's never going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fair call. So, I mean, you do hear quite a lot that, it's important to have fun. So I think what you're saying is definitely, if you want to join gel ball and have fun, there's nothing wrong with that. But like you're saying, the people at the top level, the ones who are trying to be as competitive as possible, there does come a point where you have to be competitive.
Yeah, like the competition at Wakehall the other week, like that's a prime example for the Slopperators, right?
Yeah.
We went out there with the mentality, we're going there to win.
Yeah.
When we were on the field, that was our job. When we came off the field, it was jokes, laughs, muck around, taking the mickey out of each other. But as soon as we had that 10, 15 minutes before we were about to play, switch was flicked and it was time to work.
Yeah. And you did all right there. So, I mean, that was the first game together in a long time. And I think overall it was third place for the day, was it?
Yeah, we either came third or fourth. And I was really impressed with the way that they handled themselves and the way that how far we got. Like, I always play to win. I don't ever play to lose a competition. But we'd only played together really or trained together twice before the comp. We'd worked out on a few different things. Not everyone was at 100% physically. We'd had a few injuries niggling and stuff. And just a couple little things throughout the day that which hurt us a little bit.
The injuries. Yeah, so this guy here had a groin injury on the day, and few people had a bit of a chuckle because I think you dived into one of the snakes, I think, and your groin just completely went. And when people were looking at you, you were sort of dragging your body along the ground with just your arms.
Yeah, I did that.
So that's commitment if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it hurt. I paid for it for the next couple of days, but it was worth it. The team,
bonus.
And that's part of the team, so we're out there to win. So,
good on you, Macca. Well, guys, that's all we've got for you today. Macca, thank you so much again for showing up, mate, and helping out with this.
Anytime.
Fantastic. And we should do a little shout out to Dev for hooking all this up.
Yep.
So thanks, Dev, over at Dye USA for putting all this together.
Huge sponsor, huge.
Absolutely mad guy. And, Macca's doing wonders over here. He's become a mate. It's been fantastic. All right. Now, Macca, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Nathan McDonald, or Nathan Macca McDonald as my page, or you could find me on Instagram at MaccaDie08.
Cool. And guys, I'm Dan from Ozgel, and as always, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube under Ozgel, at Ozgel Ammo, on Instagram and online at www.ozgel.com.au. I'm Dan.
I'm Macca.
And that's
We're
it.
out.